Hello everyone, Ryan here, and today we've got another episode of the Not Really Qualified to Talk About Music podcast. We of course have Josh with us and a special guest today. He goes by the name Eric The Young Gawd. Yeah, whatever. He's got his own channel. He's very entertaining. I watch his videos quite often. He does album reviews, other types of videos too. Yeah, he's just such a great guy. So how are you doing, Eric?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty cool. And how are you doing, Josh?
Oh, you asked me.
I did ask you. I remembered.
I'm doing great. Eric, you sound ominous. Is a word I would say. You sound very because I in preparation I saw, I've been watching a few of your videos today, and you're very much a character.
Yeah.
On your videos, are you playing a character, or is that actually you? Like,
what do you think?
What do I think? Well, hearing your voice now, it's incredibly different to what it is on your videos. I kind of think that in most people's videos they play a character.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think he's playing a character. I think he's giving it us real. Is that right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a character at all. I would say it's very different in like real life. Like when you see me in real life, I'm very quiet. I don't really talk a lot. I'm kind of shy, but like at home by myself, I'm pretty like, cause I'm the only child. I'm pretty young. I don't know how old people think I am, but I'm like the only child, and at home I'm just like crazy and sporadic or whatever. So yeah, that's just kind of my personality when I'm at home, because I'm recording those videos at my house, so I feel very comfortable being like that. So yeah, that's just me when I'm by myself. But like when I'm out in public, I'm not like the loud person. I'm pretty quiet. So I wouldn't say it's a character. It's just a extension of myself.
I guess you're.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that just sounds like a creative person. Like you just described a very creative person who.
Yeah. I guess you would call me that.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, to me, that's how your videos are. As much as I thought, felt like it was a character, but to me now, like you saying that, it just sounds like watching those videos again, I just think this is somebody who's just creative. They're not maybe acting up so much as they are just, doing what they do. And then
I think I was about to say, I think a lot of people who are subscribed to me that don't really know me that well think I'm like some loud black guy in like a pink room with a bonnet on, and probably not that smart. That's why I was thinking a lot of people think about me, because they don't really know me like that. So I mean, I get why you would like see like as a character just probably like this just blabbering off just stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty strategic in what I do.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. What makes you think people don't think you're smart?
I could just tell.
Oh, okay.
I could just because like I don't come off as if you just look at my reviews specifically, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not trying to be smart in those videos. I'm just like more of just like I mean, maybe I am. I don't know how people view me. That's just my opinion on how people may how I think people may view me.
I think maybe what you're getting at is that you're not like maybe one of those critics that sit down and like very silent, and they choose their words very carefully, as they delve into like a thesaurus and just
I was about to say, you can compare me to Needle Drop. Like Needle Drop, he uses a lot, like he reviewed Playboi Carti album and he used a lot of big words for the album. Like
he did.
He used a lot of like extravagant words, and when you look at my reviews, like I could use those words. I went to a Grammy winning award type school. Like I studied music and stuff like that, so like I understand the words that he's saying, and like I can use those words, but I just don't feel the need sometimes, because like I don't want to feel like I'm belittling people, like, oh, he's using those big words, because so I'm just being me. Like I talk to different people differently. Like I wouldn't talk to you how I would talk to my cousin, because you have to understand the audience that you're talking to. So yeah, I wouldn't just use those words. You know, if I'm talking to my old symphonic band teacher, I use those words. But if I'm talking to my cousin about a future song, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, the dissonance in this song."
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that.
yeah.
So,
I feel like he over-explained that Playboy Carti album. To be honest, I don't
Definitely.
know, like.
I was DMing him last night about that, and I was telling him that I was very surprised that he liked that album, and he was
Oh
like,
yeah.
he was like, yeah, he was like, it's addicting. So yeah, I didn't expect him to like that, but yeah, he liked it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's kind of, it's kind of been that like that this year with Fantano, where he's put out so many like reviews that people have just been absolutely shook by how much he likes them. You know, the Jack White, Lil Yachty, he really liked the Lil Yachty album. Everybody was just up in arms. Like, they were so confused when he gave it a 7, which is obviously very unfavorable for. But
Yeah,
it's, as he was explaining the other day on one of his videos, he was saying, like, people take his rating system way too hard. Like, it's just
They do.
It's just the position where he's at, where he feels like he's enjoying the album. It's not like he's saying this is on the same level as this or this.
Exactly, yeah. And it's funny because I tweeted something very similar to that, and then about an hour later he dropped that video, which I thought was really weird, because I was like, oh shit, this guy he's saying what I'm saying, but it's true. Like, people are like, oh my god, you gave this a 7 and this a 7 and this is a 6, that must mean this is better than that. Like, just calm down. Like, listen to what he says rather than focus on what the score is, because it just makes it redundant, really.
I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, he literally, I don't understand how people can sit there and say, how on earth could you like this album, when he just put out like an 8-minute review saying why he liked the album.
I know. It's funny.
I would never have a problem with him. He's always been very gracious to me, so
yeah.
I would never have a problem with that.
That's cool.
Has
he supported your channel and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we've collabed a lot of times. Like, I'm on his channel.
What?
Yeah. He's I'm cool. I'm kind of like cool with him. He's like he discovered me on Instagram because I followed him on Instagram, and he followed me right back, and I thought that was pretty weird. And he liked my pictures, and he DM'd me, and he was like, I knew I followed you for a reason. And he was basically just telling me that he thought I was really funny on Instagram. So we just started working after that. Like, I've what did I do with him? Like, I did like a couple outro videos on his channel. I'm the intro to the Couchy Chester mixtape that I put out. Like, that's like, if you ever heard that, like, I'm like the first person talking on there.
Oh,
that's
I
me
never listened
talking.
to that,
Very
so
interesting.
that's you.
That is very
that's me. And then I put out a mixtape about fat girls. He's on that. So yeah, we do some stuff.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That's
awesome, man.
That's interesting to me. Like, how I've never come across you yet. I've probably heard you so many times.
Yeah,
I've came across like your voice at least. Like, I've heard the Couchy Chester mixtape.
Yeah, I'm the intro on that. So yeah, if anybody
That's so
listening has
cool.
ever heard that, that's me.
So I mean, that was my next question was, how did you come, to be friends with him? But obviously, you've just told us that story. Do you think? Because we were saying before, like, Fantano. We were saying before that about characters and stuff. Do you find Fantano to work with? What you would expect. Taking his sort of persona from his videos. Was it a surprise? Was he different, or was he just the same sort of, I guess? Wow.
Oh, when I interacted with him?
Yeah, was he sort of not like he's any enigma, but it's just interesting to see what he's like to work with.
Yeah, he's pretty nice. I mean, I mean, he's like what you probably would expect. Like, I think he thinks, for whatever reason, I don't know why, he thinks I'm like so talented or funny or whatever he thinks. So every time we talk, it's very positive. Like, I did a video for one of his second channels, a channel that he deleted because, like, I know that Fader thing came out or whatnot. They were saying it was like racist and all that stuff. It was on that channel. I did a video for that channel. It was like a story time video, and he wanted me to like do a video for him. and he told me like I may have you like re-record it a couple times because I want it a certain way, and I want to take the video, and he just thought it was like the funniest thing, and he was like showed it to his wife, and like he just like he's like he's always nice to me. Like I was DMing him last night with the Cardi thing because I'm in a group chat with a whole bunch of Cardi fans, and you know, I kind of just like I said that album was really bad, and they told me my review doesn't matter because the actual voice of the black community gave it a 7, Reverend Fantano. So I sent that to him, and I was like, I just want to let you know that you're the official voice of the black community now. And he thought it was funny. So yeah, I mean, yeah, he's pretty funny guy. Like I remember he would send me pictures of his kitchen. And like he's like talk about like just like weird stuff. He's a funny guy. Like he's like is out there and funny and just cool as could be.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's interesting. So I mean, did you get your start on Instagram before YouTube?
I don't know if I have a start at now. I don't know. I feel like I'm still starting. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm a regular person. Like I just was.
Yeah, I'm just interested as to how you got into music reviewing. Really.
Oh well, yeah, that's completely different. Like my Instagram is just like people I know in real life, and I just post pictures about like that has nothing to do with my YouTube. I barely post my YouTube on my Instagram, but I think I was just at my auntie house, and I wanted to review the Freddie Gibbs, the Pinata album, the Freddie Gibbs and Madlib album. But before I did it, I was at my auntie house and I didn't have any paper, but she had a napkin. She had like napkins, so I wrote it on napkins. I wrote the review on napkins, and I reviewed it at her house. And then ever since then, I was like, I don't see anybody reviewing stuff on like napkins and stuff like that. So ever since then, I've started reviewing stuff on like pizza boxes and all that type of stuff because I feel like, you know, just want to be original. And it's me too. It's not like I'm like trying so hard to be different. Like that just fits me, just being like out of the box, writing on shoe boxes and stuff like that. And you know, like the bonnet. I'm in a pink room. Just everything is just like when you describe me to somebody on Instagram that's on YouTube that see me, and when you say the pink room, they're like, "Oh, I know who you're talking about." It sets me apart from everybody.
No, I do find that really like I don't know, something about it's just so like satisfying just watching you like in this giant like pink room. I don't know what it is. It's just like it just looks so big in the background, and you're just there like reading off a pizza box. It's so good. It's something about it. Like I can't come up with that kind of originality. I'm just like there. Be like in front of in my bedroom, you know, a bland blue background, and I'm just holding my phone recording myself. Like it's just so basic.
No, I think it's funny when like you don't like an album and you start like, shaking the camera because like, you're getting so mad that the album's bad. Hey Mike, this sucks, Mike. You just start shaking the camera and it's just like, oh, he really doesn't like this album. So, I think that's your thing.
Try stuff like that, you know.
Oh my god! So like, yeah, I think that pink room is a bit quite mesmerizing. Like I can see it now, even after only watching a couple of videos. And what I actually initially thought that pink room was a bathroom. I thought
it is. Well, it is.
It is a bathroom. Right, that makes a lot of sense because in one of the videos that I watched, you like pulled out a bit of toilet paper, and I was thinking, is he like taking a shit?
Yes, I'm sitting on the toilet while I'm doing that video.
Yeah,
or I'm doing those videos.
I was like, if this guy's taking a shit and reviewing an album, that is totally niche. I'm all down for this.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the toilet while I'm doing those videos.
Yeah, no, that makes so much sense to me. Yeah.
It also really adds to it as well when you're reciting a lyric of a song and then you just spell out the lyric, but you always do it in like the perfect like way. Like you've got like the mimic of this singer just down to a T. I don't know how you do that. Like I think I discovered you through the I think it was who was it? What review? Oh, it was King Cruel. That was it. It was a King Cruel Ooze review, and you were just like singing like soulfully in the way that King Cruel does, and I was just like, damn, this guy, he can sing, he can review, he's just everything.
I try, man. I try.
You try.
Right. We're obviously not here just to sort of tell you how amazing you are. We want the sort of, I guess we want to talk about music, if anything.
Of course, I had questions for you. I had a question for you guys too.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to make this about. I don't want to make this about me at all.
This is incredibly unusual that somebody has a question for us.
Yeah,
I have questions.
Questions. Plural.
See, I don't know if people.
Fire
Hold on. Okay, last thing
God.
about me. Last thing about me. I don't know if like you guys know this or not, but I'm also an interviewer. Like I interview people on my channel. So
Yeah.
Really?
like I've interviewed at least like I'm gonna say at least like 60 people so far. Like I've interviewed a lot of like a lot of like known people. So yeah,
so,
I'm
so musicians or like
everything. I've interviewed
okay.
I've interviewed comedians. I've interviewed Marlon Wayans.
Right.
Interviewed musicians. Interviewed Napalm. Interviewed Trick Daddy. Interviewed Lil B. Interviewed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I've interviewed. I've interviewed like I'm gonna say at least like 60 people. So yeah.
Pretty cool.
Right,
crazy.
right.
Go on then. Throw these questions at us.
Go for it.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't like formatted like that, but I mean, I guess the first one I was looking at one of your videos and I seen that you wasn't too big on the Big Fish Theory album.
I was not. No.
I wasn't either. I didn't really like that album either.
Good.
I remember seeing somebody say Vince Staples made an album for gay Crips. Thought it was pretty funny. And I was listening to the album like, I see you trying to do like this techno sound or whatnot. But I think somebody put out a rap album with techno like beats over it, and I think it's probably like one of the best ever done. I was just curious if you guys ever heard of Hoodrich Pablo Juan. Are you familiar with him?
Say the name again.
Hoodrich Pablo Juan.
Oh no, I don't know that name. No,
it's pretty wild name, but
yeah,
it's him and a producer named Brodinski. Brodinski, he produced on Yeezus.
Okay.
And he has like a pretty crazy sound. So him and Hoodrich Pablo Juan is like a trap rapper. Like he raps about like trapping. So it's kind of just weird hearing the dichotomy over somebody rapping about like selling drugs over like a techno beat. And it's really good. So it's one of my favorite albums of the year. So that was just one of the questions I have for you guys. Have you ever heard that? Because I know you didn't like that, but just using that same sound but doing it better. I feel like Hoodrich did it. So
see, I'm all for that because my biggest critique of Big Fish Theory was that it was an idea that I don't think he took to the best he could have took it. Like I think on some tracks it just didn't always sound that good, or like he would repeat the same verses like later on in the song, and it's just like you're not really adding anything here. So I don't mean to cut you off, but if you just bash Big Theory for like 30 seconds, I'm about to run downstairs and get some Subway, some food real quick. So just give me 30 seconds and just talk about whatever. I'll be right back. Just bash him or whatever you want to do. I'll be right back.
Big Fish Theory.
Okay.
I mean, in my opinion, right.
Yes.
I thought, sonically, I love that record. I really did like it was such an interesting sort of way to attack the hip hop sound, the modern hip hop sound.
Definitely.
As you said, like he just felt flat, honestly. Yeah, Vince. Like, I mean, that's always been my issue with Vince, is that I love him as a character, as a person. Yeah, but like I've just found his his lyrics, his voice to be so flat and uninteresting. It takes me out from any like true enjoyment of his records. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Yes.
I have returned.
He's back just in time.
Right there. Yeah, right there.
No, yeah.
But were you done? Or are you ready for the next question? Because I definitely
we're ready.
Pretty much. Yeah.
The one I really want to talk about, because I didn't get a chance to finish it last night, but I see you guys were talking about it on the last podcast. Okay. I wanted to talk about the Kanye situation, like his like whole debacle's been going on. Right. And I was just curious because I know you guys aren't from the United States, so I wanted to know, like, somebody that's not from the United States perspective on like everything that has been like, I guess, trending about him. Just curious.
I don't know, like.
Or do you even have an opinion?
Yeah, like it's all complicated because like there are some things that I think people are kind of ignoring about what he's saying. Like he's saying some things that are quite like worth listening to, but then he'll like follow it up with something really corny, like we need to love everyone and love all the people and stuff like that. Or then he'll throw in something that like doesn't really make sense or doesn't really. And then there was that Charlemagne interview too, which I was really excited for. I thought they were going to really go into all the details, but then so much of it was just about his fashion career, and I just lost interest. I was like, oh, they really aren't going into much about what he's been saying at all. So I thought that was going to give us more insight. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm kind of mixed on it. I think people, you know, like, it's kind of funny seeing like right wingers suddenly call Kanye like this mastermind, and then you see left wingers suddenly like, oh, this guy, he's just an idiot, like, oh, he's saying things that we don't like. It's just it's pretty funny. But generally I think I'm kind of mixed on what he's been saying. But yeah, Josh, what about you?
I kind of find it super frustrating. I guess I'm just really frustrated with the entire situation. I haven't been on social media for a few days now. So I don't know what has been said recently, but like when it all started, I was super just frustrated with the situation. I wasn't like angry at Kanye, and I wasn't, you know, it didn't bother me that much. But the more he kept saying stuff, the more the news just blew it up. The more people on Twitter were going on about, oh, it's the worst thing in the world, Kanye's dead or whatever. It just frustrated me to hell. And as you said, like, the Charlemagne interview was completely pointless. They didn't sort out anything. The 2 tracks that Kanye dropped were even more frustrating to me, especially the political one. As I mentioned in the podcast last time, I went into that a bit more. I just find it, I found it frustrating. I'm not really that interested anymore, honestly. I've lost interest in the Kanye situation. When his album comes out or whatever, I'll listen to it. If it's got some of the same politics that he was chatting on about on that track with
T.I.
T.I. I'm probably gonna throw my phone across the fucking room. Because that kind of shit, I just don't want to be listening to. Like, how enjoyable is that? Listening to someone having a conversation about politics. Just sit the fuck down like grown men and have a chat about it. Like, genuinely, that's something Kanye has failed to do as of yet, without saying, "Oh, Trump's my best friend" or blah blah blah. Like, you know, keep it out of the music. I don't. You know, otherwise, I don't care.
And another thing as well, I think he really could do with, if he's going to go into politics, have more lyrical artists than T.I. I mean, like, you're not getting anything by saying that kind of stuff to T.I. Are you? Like, when has he ever really come out with anything that's notably political? Like, you know, at least talk to like someone like, I don't know, like a Q-Tip maybe, or Killer Mike, like someone like that. At least seem to know what they're talking about most of the time. But I don't know. What about you, Eric? What's your whole sort of thought process on us?
Alright, so I'm gonna work backwards from the T.I. thing you just said.
Fair. Go.
I don't know how like I don't know the stance. Like, I guess you said, like, why go to T.I.? Well, T.I. I guess is like the person now that a lot of people go to for, like, a lot of black people go to for, like, I guess a rapper talking like I guess sense, as like one of those people that people go to. So I understand why he went to T.I. because T.I., if you go on his Instagram, if you go on like his Twitter, he's tweeting about political stuff. Like, that is kind of his thing now.
I haven't noticed that.
I understand why he went to him.
So that's my bad.
Yeah, that's like his thing now.
Fair.
That's like his thing now. But it bothered me. Usually, like let's say if he was saying all that stuff, it wouldn't bother me if it was the regular old Joe rapper, if it was, you know, just any old Playboy Cardi, like, who cares, like, if it was just him. But it bothered me because I think Kanye is like a trendsetter. I think we all can agree that when Kanye does something, a lot of people want to do it. Like, he's like a trendsetter. So I thought that the mind state that he had was very bad, because he was talking on for the most part, like, a lot of stuff he was saying that bothered me. He was talking about like black issues, and me being black, it's just like I knew people were going to roll with that, and the stuff he was saying was just very uneducated. And he literally came out and said that he doesn't read on any of this stuff. So it was just like, why are you even talking about this stuff? So it just really bothered me with a lot of stuff he was saying, because I knew a lot of people would start agreeing with him, and that was just a very dangerous thing to do, because when the only people that are agreeing with you are people that have a lot of rhetoric against black people, I don't know if that's good or not. Like, when the black people are disagreeing with you, and you only have white people who literally have like YouTube channels and TV shows on saying like subtle racist stuff. I don't think that's a good look. Like, I think the wrong people are agreeing with you, because if they're the right ones, then hey, I guess all black people are wrong, and we need to listen to like the white people that, you know, say subtle racist stuff. And it was just very uneducated, like I said. And I was talking to people that I know in real life, and they were like, yeah, man, Kanye might be right. I'm like, no, Kanye is not right. The whole...
Do they really think that Kanye, you know, can be right about the slavery thing?
Yeah, I heard people actually defend the 400 years of slavery thing, because they were like, they were basically trying to... bro. Yeah, that, and like, people went back and said that he wasn't talking about physical slavery. He was talking about mental slavery.
I think people did twist his words with that, to be honest, especially the media.
I don't think it was twisted, because let me tell you why. The day after that, he tried to like clean it up, and literally, if I just use simple context clues, he went on Twitter and said, if it was 1820, I would be Nat Turner. Nat Turner was a slave that revolted. He tried to get other people to revolt and just tried to like break out of slavery. So when you say that slavery was a choice, it was all of y'all and y'all ain't do nothing, and then you go on Twitter and say if it was 1820, I would be Nat Turner, that kind of leads me to believe that you're saying that I would have been the one that revolted, while these other people, y'all just sat there. Like, y'all were just like choosing. Because when you say that when you say the words, it was all y'all, that sounded to me like you saying like it was all y'all could have revolted against one slave master. And like, even if he didn't mean that, he's like leading to me to believe that, because him backing it up with if it was 1820, I would have been the slave revolter. Then that just sounds to me like that's what he meant. And it was crazy to me. And just some of the things he was saying, it just aligned with rhetoric of people that I do know that don't have the best interest for people that look like me.
That's fair. That's fair.
Following up from that, getting into a touchier subject of the whole thing, but it is a touchy subject. I mean, Kanye has done this, he started this anyway, so I will continue it. Do you think that Kanye is so rich and so separated from the black community that he doesn't understand modern day, issues in the community?
Yeah, he has a wife that's not black, so yeah, he lives in a world where he doesn't have to intervene with black people. Yeah, like he wakes up, his mom is dead. His dad is still alive? I'm not for sure. I think his dad's still alive, but still, he lives in a house where he's waking up to, what is she, like Armenian or something? I mean, she looks white. So let's say he wakes up to a white wife, a white mom, white sisters-in-laws, white brothers-in-laws.
Yeah. So
he's separated from that, because I once heard somebody say that basically, like, there's nothing wrong with marrying outside your race, but your wife, like let's say if you're a black person, you marry a white girl, your wife isn't going to be able to understand your problems fully at the end of the day the way that a black woman could. And that's the same way of like a gay dude married like a girl for like an experiment. She would never understand the trials and tribulations he has to go through as a gay man, because he's a woman, and he won't be able to understand that because he's a man. So when you have like a black household, I don't think his wife would let him say that. If Kim Kardashian was black, he wouldn't be at TMZ saying all that stupid stuff he was saying. So yeah, that's really what it is. He's disconnected.
Right.
Interesting.
It's very interesting, isn't it? I mean, like, considering that at one point Kanye was kind of the against the man kind of dude. Like,
yeah,
he went on live TV and said that Bush doesn't like black people. Like, he did, kind of, at that point he was controversial, but it was kind of the truth. Like,
yeah,
like, he was saying things I think he truly believed.
Oh yeah, George Bush was terrible. We need to we need to clarify that. Exactly. He was terrible.
But like, I think now he's just saying shit because, like, I don't know if he truly believes it or not. And even
my whole thing is, if he doesn't believe that, let's say he's just saying this for album sales, right? He wants more attention and all that. I feel like, well, that's what we would call black people cooning. That's like you being like an Uncle Tom. Like that's you basically. I guess to use an old analogy, you tap dancing for the white man so you can get some publicity. That's really what he's doing. So if he doesn't believe that and he's just trying to get album sales, then I really can't respect him, because you're literally selling out your own people just for your own profitable gain.
But couldn't like saying like, oh, like you know, like saying like he's an Uncle Tom or like a coon, couldn't that be like, I don't know, I've always seen that as like an unfair kind of like racial slur just against people that are just saying things that might be considered different, or do you not see it that way?
See, look, I agree with you, because I have a video on my YouTube. I have several videos on my YouTube regarding like non-musical stuff, and one of the videos I made was the word coon, Uncle Tom. Those words are almost they like mean nothing now because they're used so often. The same way the word nigga, like it was a powerful word back then, but now we say it so much, it doesn't really mean anything now. It's like we like took the power from it. So when you call somebody an Uncle Tom or a coon that you're disagreeing with, just because you disagree, then you're taking the power out the word. Like that word used to mean something. Right. Like you only hear the word coon like one time a year, like, but now you hear it one time a second, you know. So it's like everybody just keeps saying it. But the reason I say that what he's doing would be cooning is because he's aligning himself with policies and rhetoric of people that literally like a lot of like the alt-right people. Like if you just look at some of the stuff they say, like Alex Jones, like I used to be subscribed to Alex Jones. I thought he was like a conspiracy guy. Like I seen like the Bohemian Grove video he did a long time ago. I was like, oh, this guy's crazy. And then like I'll go on his page from time to time, and he'll only post a news article. Like he'll always talk about like the government and stuff, but he'll post like somebody got their house robbed only when like it's a black man robbing a white woman, or like a Mexican guy robbing like a white woman. It's like, why are you not posting other stuff? Like why does it only have to be like that? So when you're aligning yourself with people with those views, you're literally selling out. I could see if he was like saying stuff and it sounded informed. Like, I understand what you're saying, but you're talking like just BS, like literally like historically wrong, you know. So I can't. That's the legitimate thing of cooning. Like, okay, you as a white person, how do you see cooning? Like, what do you think it is? Like when you hear somebody say, "Oh, he's a coon," what just pops in your mind?
I don't know. To be honest,
go on, Josh.
To be honest, like that's not really a word that is said that much in the UK.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And to be honest, neither you know the N slur isn't as big here either. I don't know, Ryan. Like maybe you feel this way too. Like it's perhaps it is said outside of the community I'm based in. I don't know. I don't know about you, Ryan. How did?
No, I mean when I was at school, there were like white kids who were like the chavs, basically. Chavs are just like the worst people in the UK. And they would like act hard and say like the N-word and stuff like that to teachers and be like, oh no, like stuff like that. Like that was the only time I heard that. Like, and that was just idiots basically saying it. So yeah, I mean UK is a very different culture in that sense, I think. So yeah. So as far
as those kinds of words, like I just don't. I have very little experience of them.
Yeah, I mean it's just on the internet that you see them get used generally. Yeah. But yeah, basically from that experience, that's kind of how I.
Honestly, the US is such a different place to us.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. You're like, I mean, at the moment especially because you have this guy as a president, and you have gun violence every day. It's such a weird place to me anyway. It's like you're on a different planet, honestly.
Just this. My fault. Keep going.
No, I was just gonna say like that kind of stuff we would never dream of having in the UK. Like the call was boring, but we have elections with people who we we just don't agree with. We don't have like people who ran TV shows and stuff like that. It's absolutely crazy.
I was just gonna say, I guess, like, to sum it up, like, the way the black people down here is looking at him, it's just like, we see you, and you're a person, you know how you said the Bush doesn't like black people, like, you were standing up for black people, and now that, like, even since Jesus, like, he just doesn't seem to have the intellect to talk about the things he's talking about. Like, I'm going to wear, like, a Donald Trump Make America Great Again hat to have it mean something else. Like, that's just, like, dumb to me. That's like something a kid would say, like, yeah, I'm going to put this Spider-Man suit on, I'm going to become Spider-Man. Like, no, like, that's not what's going to happen. Like, the hat is going to mean what it means, you know? So
well, that's the thing that irritated me most about that track that he put out with T.I. Like, he says in it, you know, I put that hat on and I changed its meaning.
Oh, yeah, that was bullshit.
Like, nobody looked at you with that hat on and thought, oh, maybe Trump is, you know, maybe Trump's not so racist after all.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
See,
you can't just play that I have a black friend.
Yeah. See, the dangerous thing about the whole thing is just like same way people say Donald Trump is like he enables people to be racist. Like, oh, like our president is this. Like, I'm going to be even more crazier. So when you have a black guy, they're like, hey, even the black guy agrees with me. Yeah. Like, you niggas are filthy. Like, you know, you can't do that. Like, you're just like, it's I don't know, man. It was just like Kanye. He's just too powerful to be spreading false rhetoric.
Well, that's the thing, though. We've already said, like, he's a trendsetter. So he had a ripple effect, didn't he, when he said all this stuff? I mean, the amount of arguments that were coming through, like, through people that just never talked about Kanye West before was just like. So he certainly made an impact, but I don't know if it's for the best, or if it is just for album sales, or if it is just him being an idiot or whatever. But yeah,
it's hard because, like, I've always felt, I mean, I say always, but like for the past few years, especially when maybe, you know, Kendrick dropped To Pimp a Butterfly, it kind of felt like hip hop was very much in a space where it was definitely, you know, sticking it to the man kind of genre. It felt very political. Look at the Joey Badass album.
Yeah,
you know, like,
that was hugely political.
So, you know, into like such a political, these political ideas, and they were all very against, you know, something.
They're pro-black, really. That's what it
essentially.
They're like a pro-black message.
But like, here's Kanye kind of, or sort of undoing it, because he is essentially almost undoing that hard work, because now he is the biggest hip hop artist in America or in the world, and he's kind of just like said, "Oh no, like we're with Trump now." So,
I didn't look at it like that. Like, I'm doing it, but I agree. I agree with you now.
Yeah,
I
and
definitely
now,
agree with that.
so as you were saying, like, all the white people are going to be like, he's the biggest, you know, hip hop artist in the world, and he's with Trump, and that, you know, that's what. So it's like now this idea that hip hop is, you know, pro-black is kind of fizzled out, because all the eyes are on Kanye. It's so goddamn frustrating.
But I don't think he's undone it all, though. I mean, I still think those albums that you mentioned have their place. They have their
absolutely. But are they not lost? Are they not just kind of lost mainstream-wise now? Like,
they were never.
All eyes are on Kanye. Nobody cares about that stuff anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in terms of like someone like a Joey Badass, it was only ever people in the know anyway. Like, you know, like Alex Jones would never have heard of Joey Badass. Like, I just see it's music listeners that appreciate it. I don't know. I mean, maybe Kanye's just. I don't know. Kanye's like a spanner in the works type thing. He's there, but he's not really like he's kind of stopped the way things are for like a short period of time. But you know, later on in the year we'll have a hip hop album that'll be hugely like impactful. That we'll be talking about again. I don't know. I don't think he's quite changed things just too much to the point where To Pimp a Butterfly isn't like, you know, as seen as great as it was and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think he's just come at he's done this at one of the worst times. He's just it is, as I was saying, in one word, frustrating.
Yeah.
Which is just how I felt about it for ages. Anyway, it's.
I have one more question for you guys.
Yeah, this is fun.
One more question for you guys.
Please.
So I know you guys are from the UK, and you're white men from the UK. So I hear a lot of things about mumble rap, right?
Yeah.
So what might be mumbling to me, or what might be mumbling to you, might not be mumbling to me. So I'm curious, what rappers do you? It's kind of a two-part question. What rappers do you look at as mumble rap? And what rappers? Well, let's just answer that. Let's start with that first. What rappers do you look at as mumble rap rappers?
It's a term that's been thrown around way too much. Like when I did my Eminem review, and I shit on the album like massively, and you know, because it was a bag of shit, that album. There was someone commented who was like, oh, you know, you're just probably one of those that likes mumble rap, you know, like Lil Pump, and I was just like, well, Lil Pump isn't mumble rap, so what's your argument here? And I don't like Lil Pump, so it's getting one of those things where it's just like people are just throwing that term to artists that aren't even mumble rap. But
yeah,
I guess I mean Playboy Carti to me is a mumble rapper. Who else? 21 Savage kind of, but I think he's been doing more features, which I feel like he's kind of breaking away a little bit from what his sound used to be like. So they're two that come to mind straight away. What about you, Josh? What do you think?
To be honest, like, I'd never quite grasped the term mumble rap. People called like Lil Yachty like the center of mumble rap. Like he repped mumble rap, and I never understood that. I always could tell what Lil Yachty was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I've always took the mumble rap definition as, you know, what it feels like on the surface. Some, you know, an artist who raps but you can't really tell what they're saying, or it's, you know, really hard.
Yeah.
I've never had that issue, honestly. Maybe Playboy Carti, there's been a few times where I've like, what did he say? Because he has such a weird, groany voice. Maybe Future. There have been plenty of times where Future said stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea what he just said. It might have not been good. I don't know. You know, I don't like the term. I think it sucks. Actually, I think it's kind of demeaning. Considering that like people hold Lil Yachty at the forefront of it, and I love Lil Yachty. I think his Lil Boat 2 was awesome, even though most people didn't. I thought it was great. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I just don't. I would only ever count a mumble rapper as someone who I couldn't understand, and that really doesn't happen very often, to be honest.
Yeah.
What was your second part question?
It was actually like going to be leaning towards Future. I was just I was curious how you guys feel about Future.
Ooh, Future.
I've never liked anything he's put out. I've always been bored by Future's music. Never been interested. I don't know. He's never felt very exciting in his tracks. Like, they've always just felt, and I understand that this is his sound, it's his aesthetic, I suppose, very slow, atmospheric trap stuff, but nothing's ever, you know, it's not like a Travis Scott where for some, you know, like Rodeo, that atmospheric trap like gets me hype. Like, I love that shit. Future is just on the other side where it's just really too slow and too boring, like nothing interesting happens to me.
I mean, I'm similar, I guess. There are a few songs that I do like by Future. Was it called Commas, or Fuck Up Some Commas? I don't know the actual title of that song. I like that song, that was good. Move That Dope as well, I think. Was that with Pharrell and Pusha T? Yeah, I like that song, that was pretty cool. Mask Off grew on me, to be honest, but generally, I find a lot of his stuff just kind of so. Just, it's average. He's in his own lane, I guess. He did influence a lot of artists, but definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely a pioneer.
But it's kind of one of those things where he influenced people that I don't particularly listen to or like that much, so I just don't really have that much of an opinion on him. What about you, Eric? Are you a fan?
I'm a Future stan. I love Future. I love Future. I feel like you have to be a certain type of. Well, I'm not gonna say a certain type of person like Future. I just feel like I'm surprised he's as big as he is right now, because I feel like he's made like. Okay, so I heard you say like you like the atmospheres, Travis Scott music, trap music. I wouldn't call Travis Scott trap, because I would only call trap. Like, what is trap to you? Before we get to that.
Maybe it's different. Yeah, maybe it's different in the UK. Maybe you guys refine it a lot more, but like to us, it's got a certain beat, really. Like
hi-hats.
I mean, especially especially like on Travis's second record, Birds. Like that was much more trap like than Rodeo was to me. I don't know.
I guess I would agree to you that like trap influence like production, but I would say trap is like the content that they're talking about. Like trap is like selling drugs, really. So when I when I hear somebody say, "Oh, I got a trap album," and he's talking about like flying an airplane or something, I'll be like, he's not trapping, he's flying an airplane. So I would think that like Future, I think that he elevated like drug selling music to like, I don't know, it's crazy. I feel like he did it like nobody else could, and he's just he's funny to me. Like he's funny. I actually think he can rap. Like he has songs where he's rapping pretty well. Yeah, I just like Future. I feel like he just makes he makes next level music to me, man. I love Future, man. He's a next level trapper. I love him.
Have you ever seen that interview he did with fuck, his name's gone completely out of my mind now, but Nardwuar, yeah. And he's like, I love cheesecake, real late at night.
Classic.
I'm like, I've got that in my head all the time. That's just one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And Future, like the times I've like seen him on camera, as you were saying, like he's funny and his music's very a lot of the time humorous too. But I don't know, man. I guess it seems to be the more I get involved with the community, that the sort of music reviewing community, that the US and the UK, like we have such a different look on music. And I
couldn't see anybody from the UK actually liking Future. Like when you say you don't like him, like I understand. Like if you liked Future, I would be surprised. Like I feel like I couldn't see anybody outside the United States like
I think if you played it just on radio in the UK, it wouldn't go down well. People would probably skip it and just be like, this is shit. But like, I don't know, I think Josh and me are quite like big on hip hop and like rap and like all the kind of genres that have been big over the past few years, because like we listen to so much music, and still, even after listening to as many like trap artists, like so many of the new school in hip hop, like I feel like at this point I should have gotten to a point where like, oh yeah, I appreciate at least something Future does, and I just haven't found myself liking it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it is like a cultural thing. Like maybe like, oh, you have to be like in the know in like in the US, like you have to be on this sound like all the time. You have to hear this sound all the time to know that it's good. But I don't know.
Yeah, there's I think there's just too much, too many other things that are happening in the UK that are really interesting. So like we miss, what's interesting in the US at the time, and I try and keep up with trap music. I've barely listened to this Playboi Carti album, but when I'm in the mood, I'm in the mood and I get into it. Like as I said, I love Lil Bert too. What other trap album came out this year?
Don't know. Well, last year I liked the Gucci Mane and Metro Boomin album. Did you like that one, Eric?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Drop Top WAP. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I also, to be honest, like I liked Travis Scott's. Was it Offset or the other one? It was a tape Huncho Jack.
That was Quavo. Oh man.
Oh, Quavo.
Quavo, yeah.
Really?
I love that. Yeah, I listened to that so much.
No.
Yeah, I couldn't get into that.
No.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. maybe
a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the songs sound like they should have been Future songs. I couldn't get into it. I
don't know. Maybe
Black and Chinese would be. I would love that to be a Future song. Yeah, I want that to be a Future song.
Oh,
wow.
I couldn't get into
it. Maybe I would be called a Travis Scott stan in America.
Yeah.
Maybe I would be a Travis Scott stan. Although I barely like
Birds had a few good songs. That was it. What, Eric? What did you think of the Thugger and Future project? The Young Thug.
The who?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Thugger. Oh, Super Slimy. Yeah. Oh, Super Slimy.
Yeah.
That grew on me. That grew on me a lot. That's crazy. I was just listening to that the other day. I was calling that a modern day classic. I love that album.
Wow.
Some of the stuff that they say in there is just like Future said. He just bought a phone and it's already stored up with 200 hoes. And it was just so funny to me because I'm like, how do you just buy a phone and you have 200 people numbers in your phone like in that instant? Like, he's amazing, man.
I guess if I view it more as like
man.
comedy, like the things he says, like maybe I'd.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that. It's like you have to have like a certain type of humor to like Future, I think, and then also you have to like. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like if you, how can I put this? If you're in the U.S. and you know people that live in the hood, I think you'll like Future.
That's interesting.
Right.
I think it's like that. So like if you know people that's like living in like the projects and stuff like that, I feel like you would like Future because he talks that stuff that people would like, you know? Like he's talking about like just like he's like I feel like every dude from the hood wouldn't mind living Future's life. It's like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's strange. Like we do have similar things like that in the UK. Like we have grime. Obviously, we have grime. We have people like Stormzy who talk that kind of life, but in a British sense. Like he's, but that maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't make it so attractive. You know.
Or maybe it's more like a regional thing. Like maybe like I don't know, because like I've never really talked to a black UK person, I guess, that live from the hood, so I don't know like if I interact with them, would it be the same as interacting with somebody from Florida that live in the hood? I doubt it would, because we're like you know.
Yeah. I'd say hip hop. A bit of grime in there too. Yeah, it was very working class, wasn't it? It was very just that kind of spirit.
Yeah. Everybody I listen to, even outside of hip hop, I listen to them because of, well, I'm gonna stick with hip hop. Everybody listen to hip hop, I listen to primarily because of their lyrics. Like, if you're not saying anything in your songs, I don't listen to you. Like Young Thug and Future, they say things to me in their songs where I'm like, that's like I have to live by that. Like I have to quote that. Like on Cardi album, Young Thug said he's gonna cheat on his wife with a midget. Like that's just like it's like what? Like that's crazy. Like it's just it's ridiculous. But outside of like, I don't know, I just can't listen to anything that's not being said. You know, I have to have some type of.
So what other hip hop artists are you into that might be more like considered more lyrical? Like what, like, you know what I mean? Like appraised on their lyrical depth. Who else would you say?
Yeah. Well, I guess Kendrick is. I think Kendrick is going to
Mm.
go down as my favorite rapper of all time. When it's all said and done.
Yeah.
I love Ghostface Killer. That's my current
Yeah.
favorite rapper of all time. Ghostface. Lyrical rappers that I just love. I mean, I love
Yeah.
TDE. They're all
Yeah.
pretty good lyricists. You know, I know you don't like this young man, but I don't have a problem with J. Cole. I like J. Cole. I know you hate J. Cole, but I mean,
I don't hate
I
the
like
guy.
J. Cole. J. Cole is I feel like you hate J. Cole. I feel like you definitely hate
Did
J.
you
Cole.
watch my review? Oh,
I did. You were not pleased. You were not pleased at all. I feel like you definitely hate J.
I think
Cole.
there was some things I mentioned that were positive about some of the songs. I can't remember which ones. Yeah, he hasn't hit. He hasn't hit it, has he?
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Well,
Mm.
I do like the better J. Cole, aka Big Crit. That's one of my favorites. So yeah. Yeah, I like the better J. Cole. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I listen to like the people that you would probably think a normal lyricist fan would like. Okay. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, favorite go to. Oh, it's so tough because for a long time I was definitely not paying attention to the Roots, and then I paid attention and I thought, okay, the Roots are one of the best ever. But yeah, it took a while for me to listen to How I Got Over. So I think that one is one of those albums. It's just got such a sound to it. Like you can just play it on. It's just got like a really like soothing type of sound, but it also isn't boring. Like it's not like just a plain type of album. Like there's so much texture to it, and yeah, Black Thought as well. He's always saying stuff that's just amazing. But yeah, go to. I do think Ghostface Killer. Eric's already mentioned him. He's one of the best too. Nas's Illmatic, I still like think is just like a any time album. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that album at all. The Far Side.
Shout out!
Oh
shout
my
out,
God, Elzai.
Shout out to Elzai, by the way.
Yeah.
You said Illmatic. You know,
Elzai,
you got
oh
the
my God,
Illmatic.
Elzai,
So yeah,
Jesus
shout out to
Christ.
Elzai.
His last album from like 2015, I think it was amazing. 2016, one or two, amazing. And he put out a good album this year too. Elzai's so underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's loads. I mean, I'd have to read up on a list or write them all down, but just off the top of my head. I mean, yeah, Run the Jewels. I don't know why you hate on Run the Jewels. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah.
I would agree 100%. I can't get into Run the Jewels whatsoever.
Just don't
care. I don't care. I just don't care to listen. Like, just don't care. Yeah. I'm not a fan of LP though, so that's another reason why. Yeah, I don't like LP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan at all.
ASAP Rock.
Mm.
ASAP Rock, no. But musically, no.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, he's a bit corny, isn't he? I like that one song he did with Anderson .Paak.
I like Mac Miller.
Yeah.
I like Mac Miller a lot. I like Mac Miller. I like his. I think he's progressed as a person. Like, I really liked. What is it? Watching Movies with the Sounds Off. I thought that was a pretty good album. I like him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used to be Eminem stan. It's kind of crazy. I used to love him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's one of the best like technical rappers. That's what I would give him. I feel like he's really good at like.
Yeah, that's true.
But I feel like it was a point in time where he was making pretty enjoyable music to listen to. In my opinion, I feel like I feel like he has songs where it's like, I can listen to this, but I feel like now he's not doing that at all. I feel like he does rap over the right beats. I don't know what he's going through right now, but I feel like he went through a period of time where he was doing it good.
He did a collab with Royce da 5'9" recently. If you haven't heard that, I'd listen to that. Song's called Caterpillar. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
Song,
the Caterpillar, yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. White rappers, by the way. Yoral Droog. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Yeah. He's great. I think his last album was really good. Shame not many people jumped on it. Fair. I think it would have been one of those albums if Fantano had like give it a really positive rating. People would have been so like, oh, this guy's amazing. But I think he gave it like a 7 or something. And usually like a 7 is like not enough to push people onto a new artist. So I think he would have got his push though if he'd got a really high rating. But hey, definitely good.
Yeah, I'm sorry for hijacking you guys' podcast with my questions. I apologize about that. I do have one more comment though, no more questions. I just want to say that I've been saying this like everywhere on all platforms, but James Blake, in my opinion, is the best artist.
His first album is
just throw it out there.
It's just, but yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I guess we could leave it here. It's been about an hour, so yeah, I don't want to keep you on too long. It's been great having you on though. Thank you, Eric, for joining us.
Okay.
It's been a lot of fun. Okay. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Entertainment and insight, and thank you for listening to anyone else who's been listening. Thank you, Josh, as always. We'll leave it here. So goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.